let's analyze why Japanese artists can't break into the US and how Megan Thee Stallion is changing that. Megan's latest album has a collaboration entitled Mamushi featuring Japanese rapper Yuki Chiba, formerly known as Cole. If Cole sounds familiar, it's likely because you heard him on the hit 2015 track Ichima. Following that success, he began to branch out and eventually ended up working with 88 Rising. Unfortunately, 88 Rising is not mainstream, and their target demographic are Asian folks who say nigga. Not really who you want to be aligning yourself with if your goal is mainstream success and popularity amongst African Americans. For reasons we won't get into, Yuki Chiba retired from music a few years back. In February of this year, he released his debut single under the name Yuki Chiba entitled Chimu Tomodachi. He is now reintroducing himself and his brand to the world, and Megan is helping him do that in a very Yuki Chiba is arguably the biggest and most culturally relevant Japanese rapper in Japan, despite Japanese hip-hop being very underground and thus overlooked by the general public. Megan and Yuki Chiba met during one of Megan's previous trips to Japan, and he clearly made an impact on her, which culminated in the collaboration Mamushi. Yuki Chiba has also collaborated with the likes of Mariah Carey, Utada Hikaru, and Frank Ocean. Japanese rap, and rappers by extension, are effectively the redheaded stepchild of Japanese entertainment. They are the bad boys and bad girls by nature, tackling taboo subjects in the country such as drug use, and ultimately going against the conservative status quo. That aversion to follow Japanese societal norms, coupled with the bravado to break rules, gives them far more flexibility both professionally and creatively. Say, a J-pop idol who must adhere to a laundry list of rules. Being a successful and brand-safe celebrity in Japan is arguably the antithesis of being a successful and brand-safe celebrity in America. Being a Japanese celebrity is like being the world's best customer service representative, 24/7, 365. Any attempt to clock out will result in public shaming and or legal troubles. When Japanese artists have tried to break into the US market in the past, it has almost always resulted in failure due to mismanagement. The most critical aspect being a lack of understanding how to market a Japanese artist outside of Japan. Case in point, this is a 2-hour YouTube essay. Troye Sivan, don't get me started. Titans in Japanese entertainment such as Miyabi, Watanabe Naomi, and Utada Hikaru have faced near insurmountable challenges in attempting to break into the US market. This cannot be understated. Japanese artists are not unknown in America due to a lack of talent, but rather a lack of proper and poor resource allocation. Utada Hikaru is the sole exception because of her work with Kingdom Hearts, exposing her to a non-Japanese audience en masse for several decades, because Easy Breezy was never going to do that. So why is Mamushi such a big deal? Because Megan has introduced a Japanese rapper to her audience, and fans are eager to learn more about Yuki Chiba and his discography. What Megan is doing by being vocal about her love of anime and Japanese culture, and even collaborating with Japanese artists, is unprecedented for rappers, especially one of Megan's caliber. She is single-handedly redefining and revitalizing what it means to be a nerd, a black female nerd, and a black nerd who enjoys rap music. It's appreciation for nerds everywhere. In this context, and many others, there is nothing more valuable than the attention and support of the African American public. If they decide you're cool, then you're cool. And if they decide to support you, they're going to support you 10 toes down. The love you give them will be returned and exacerbated. I've seen Yuki Chiba in concert, and he is a great performer. He's also the only rapper I've been to whose concert has turned into a mosh pit. In conclusion, I'm excited for Megan and Yuki Chiba. And if he intends to continue to pursue music with the goal of reaching a non-Japanese audience, I genuinely hope that his management understands what they are doing, the unique position that he is in, and fully intend to capitalize on it, because this is an opportunity that very few Japanese artists ever get, especially Japanese rappers.
We cannot deny Megan's talent and what she has done in the hip-hop industry, outside of everyone trying to say that she has the same flow and she's copying Nicki Minaj. As of Nicki Minaj has never had the same flow in the last decade. As if she has not been accused of copying Little Kim, literally to the T. So it's really weird when we have a conversation that, Megan is copying Nicki. Perhaps she might get influence from her. Perhaps she gets influence from her cartoon, whatever, and Eminem, right? She gets inspo from that. She gets inspo from a lot of things because she loves rap. She likes Eminem. She likes Japanese culture as well. She likes to incorporate that as well in the music, and her being authentically herself is a way it's embodied in the music. And to reduce her to just being copying Nicki Minaj is just a retarded argument. It's old, it's pathetic. It's a lazy analysis on anyone's part, and I would say that you're a Nicki Minaj fan, and that's as dumb as you can possibly be. Nicki Minaj's fan. So, as if she in her career did not just blew up, okay? Nicki Minaj herself also started out very small, okay? She has humble beginnings, and I think this is because of how time has evolved. This is how Megan is going to evolve in front of the screen, and this is how she's going to look out in the next coming years. And it's really not something that we should say that they are copying other people, right? There probably is. That's the industry they are in. I mean, that's the industry they're in. Beyonce, that's the industry they are in. Okay, that's the literally foundation of their industry, and how they found themselves to be in that particular industry, and how they found themselves to navigate in that particular industry. So we need to give Megan her flowers for the amazing, amazing album that she has worked so hardly on. And I found myself liking more than 6 songs on that song. She's done an amazing job.
This tweet has been starting some discourse lately, so let's talk about it. If you didn't know already, the wonderful Megan Thee Stallion has just recently launched a new album, and you should go listen to it. And within this album, along with many of her other songs, Megan talks about some bisexual themes. Usually it's things like, I got a nigga, I got a bitch, I'm a banana, they got a split. In her newest song, Broke His Heart, she raps, I like girls and I like niggas, both of them getting 8. Which you would think would be a huge W for the LGBT community, because Megan Thee Stallion? But if you've been a fan for a while, you know that Megan has been openly bisexual, especially on her tour. But after this lyric dropped, and there were some posts on Twitter, Megan has been facing some backlash as people saying that she is bisexual for a fan base. But the bigger issue here is how a lot of Black artists, or artists of color in general, are heavily policed in their sexuality. I had some moods break this down in a really great way. You had artists like Tyler, the Creator, Doja, Cardi B, Nicki, Megan, who all have said that they're bisexual, but everyone wants them to prove it in some way, shape, or form. But in the same breath, these people will, pioneer cis-het white women as the queer icons, even though we know they're straight and they have never once ever claimed any bisexuality. A great example of this is Taylor Swift. I have been seeing, Taylor Swift is secretly bisexual or secretly lesbian theories for, over 10 years now. And even though she has never once claimed this, no one is critiquing her or saying she's a fake bisexual, because we know she's not, even though people are theorizing that she is. But then you have these Black artists who are like, hey, yep, I'm bi, and everyone's like, you can't be bisexual, you're faking it, you just want a new fan base, let me see you kiss a girl then. More examples of this: Harry Styles, someone who's never explicitly said that they were bisexual or queer, and yet they are also being shown as a queer icon. Megan, or any other bisexual woman who decides that they just never will date women, are still bisexual. And who knows, maybe Megan is dating a woman and just wants to keep it under wraps because you guys are so weird. For example, I'm pretty sure that Phoebe Bridgers is also bisexual, but has only ever dated men. And yet, people have taken her into the community with open arms. This is just a reminder that Black people are and can be queer. And no, they do not have to prove it to you. Matter of fact, go thank your local Black bisexual, because they're probably doing more for the community than you ever will.
Let's respect Black people as individuals instead of a community. And instead of trying to box them and them not having a personality outside of whiteness, they deserve a little bit of personality. We do. Okay, just like everybody else. But it seems like when it comes to Black people, yeah.
So y'all know Megan and Rattle, she like, damn, bitch, it been 4 years. Worry about your man and your kids. Everybody talking about like, oh, she's sending shots at Nicki Minaj. And everybody else like, no, she's not sending shots at Nick. Stop being mad. She's talking about Kelsey. I think she talking about both of them. You know my girl, she gon' give you ambiguous shots. So to whoever it applies, it will be applied. And I'll show you how. In her new song Spin with Victoria Monet, she said, I'm finna show you why 6 diss tracks. 6 diss tracks? What? This was right after, well, right when she was making Bigfoot. After the first one dropped, 5 extra songs. 1 plus 5, 6. Mind you, that's a freaky ass song. You talking about I'm finna show you why 6 diss tracks on a freaky ass song. She was putting it down on that lady, baby. She was going in, and that lady was sprung. And I guess, child, when that WAP came out, she was so hurt. So hurt. Because if you didn't give a fuck that much, you wouldn't have this much energy. But you had 6 diss tracks. So, yeah, like, when she said, like, your life must be boring as fuck, you still reminisce about the shit that we did. Yeah, that applies to her, too.
This man single-handedly united all of Asia for one song. If you keep up with hip-hop news, you might have seen this song go viral. It has the chant that goes, Team Tomodachi, Team Tomodachi. Yuki Shiba is one of the GOATs of Japanese hip-hop, and I was introduced to him back when he was called Ko in his earlier days of his career. I highly recommend going to check out his documentary on Vice. He comes from a crazy story, a very traditional hip-hop background, raised by a single mother in the projects of Tokyo. It's an amazing story. I'm just glad to see him being successful. If you guys remember the viral Itji Ma video of all the Asian rappers from a long time ago, this is him at the end. So many people in Asia are hopping on this remix. They did a remix in the Kansai region of Osaka. Then they had one in South Korea. Then they had one in Taiwan. They even had one in Malaysia, which is crazy. Even Duke Deuce hopped on the track for a remix, which I really wish more American rappers hopped on this beat because it's a hard beat. And now he has been confirmed for Megan Thee Stallion's upcoming album. He's going to have a feature on it. Dude's career is crazy. I'm glad to see him prosper.